Listen, man. Let me explain to you, man. Let me tell you about habitation and, and acknowledgement when it comes to one's covering of conduct, right? You, you see, certain men, I have children that looks like the higher quality of their mother, especially masculine men that has such a feminine quality is beyond alluring a certain type of way to how can I say? I'm a man of very I'm a majestic man, a man of regard, a man of a man of real. How can I say this? Now, but you have individuals who may be a little different in natural forms of view of digression or reality a certain type of way, right? And you know, me being a man of majesticness of one instruction, my children, as I said, is very alluring a certain type of way. It they could cause a form of mysticism in reality. This is why you have to be verbally educated to know what I'm speaking. Because a person, you have to know your vocabulary to know the difference, even when it comes to the natural habitation and physics a certain type of way. Because my children, some of them don't need certain things to show you their higher quality of naturalness. Because I am the astrological emperor of all love. I had to humble and compact my reality for my healing of my temple because my physical equality is beyond alluring. So it can instantly intensify one's reality. This is why I don't set my mental a certain type of way at times. Because you see, like right now, if I feel a certain type of way, it could cause too much high emotions and intention. And sometimes certain settings are not precise for an individual because even the physical reality will show you my my level of emotions is beyond endless a certain type of way that'll carry out into the physical existence naturally. And I already been doing this before certain habitation. So, the physical quality will actually show even in the physical reality. So, a person got to be very careful when it comes to me because my physical already shows you that obviously I must be humbling a real higher quality about myself naturally in physics for one's view of acknowledgement. And me being a form of, I'm more of a hands on individual a certain type of way. But depending on one's reality, just like when my wife wants to show me something, I told you my wife is a real astrological empress. When she wants to show me something, sometimes when she wants to do golden body, she's very she could want me to be brutal a certain type of way with an individual. So it'll show a certain type of way of the fierceness of be careful because at another time you'll see my fierceness in another higher quality. And that's just an early warning to another individual when they see certain things a certain type of way. Because if a person doesn't realize what's really going on a certain type of way at a time, and it's just like, all right, you know, but one wouldn't know because the level of one's reality is just showing a point because one this a person that might be viewing this a certain type of way might be a deceptive person. I'm a person that's very precise. I'm really precise and the real literally And on top of it, another person might be acting appropriately, and, and this might be having a certain type of form of equality about them. So when the one is viewing, the reflection of oneself is gonna be a certain type of way because I'm the head of your reality. You're just a continuance of my habitation. So want to show a certain type of equality. If this is like in reflection magic, so want to it indulges a certain type of way, the 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 natural equality you're looking for will be more intensified than what you think. Because you see me in the real physical, I'm more alluring in the reality than the one's view of acknowledgement at one's scope. So be careful. So I'm gonna be real. So I have children that cause a form of mysticism in reality because of the higher quality of their physics. And I have many children. You know, my children are the real higher points of intellectual enlightenment, of guidance throughout all history and all historical events, and still even throughout one's reasons of point of journey of higher quality on all levels of physics. So now I'm gonna just show you just like this. If a person at a time, you know, say they get you know, like you see how my some of my sons, they maybe want to recondition the generations. That's there's nothing new under the sun. It's all mine. You know, if you're growing up in somebody else's household, it's either consideration that they had for you, or or a form of when it builds reason of one's homage at a time. So don't try to react because another person could have went throughout the time not caring, depending on one's objective at a time also. So, you know, be very careful if you've been reconditioned in the physical reality, no matter what household you're from. So, I'm also recovering from a gunshot. So you already really think about your physics and your physical life. And then I wasn't reconditioned like everybody else. I came back by myself. This is the amazement that still amazes my wife. So, she she's sitting somewhere sometimes at a place on a level, and her own regardment of her quality of the reason of her habitation, even for her physics. So I'm just gonna be real. So, I don't really get into certain things a certain type of way with individuals, because another person doesn't know how wonderful I am. It's just like the other day when we were all the way in up north, and I was showing you the reason of habitation, because when one looked, one wasn't when you looked in the sky the other day when I was showing you on the bottle. I stopped the individual real in the street. I showed you using a bottle of water, purity, the purest bottle of water. I held it up to the sky. I said, "You listen, the sun is not there because I'm standing right here in front of you." Another person said they couldn't believe it until I held the bottle of water up and they couldn't see the sun, and then they looked at me and then they realized what was really happening. So then I just didn't say nothing because I'm like, hey, my equality of your existence is beyond the reason of your habitation, of your matter or celestial or cellular or DNA structure at a time. So be very careful in the physical reality when it comes to me. And I'm so the difference in reality natural habitation is a little different, you know. So one has to know the reasons of their physics and science. So, you know, it was amazement. And then the person that realized it at the time, they were like, well, the sun's right there. She looks down at me. She said, the sun's right there. And the guy next to him was like, he couldn't believe it at the time. He was like, oh, you know. And then they was went about their business and stuff. But it's the reality of one's physics because if one is going to the future, one has to know about one's higher metaphysics or mythology, right? All right. So, you know, the loving respiration of life is wonderful when it comes to receptiveness. Behave yourself. So I'm gonna be real, you know, one's conduct in life is everything a certain type of way. So
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, stations out of Syracuse, not all doors are open. Next to where you see a member of the crew. Please watch your step when you're training. There's a small gap between the train and the platform. If you have small children, please help them across the gap. Once again, now right, Syracuse, New York.
anyway, I'm gonna